Wright, the CEO of the Student Union, and Cass Winlow, who is the Head of Engagement. And we're here to talk about the fact that the Student Union is under new management at the moment. So welcome to both of you. Kalina, would you like to introduce yourself to everybody and tell them a little bit about yourself?
Thank you. My name's Kalina Wright. As Justine said, I am the CEO of Sunderland Students' Union. I started in April, and sadly, due to the COVID impact, I've not been on campus yet. Prior to that, I was the head of student engagement at De Montfort. No, I wasn't. That's Cass's title. I was the head of membership services at De Montfort, and I've been at De Montfort for the past 12 years, but in that role specifically for the past 5.
Brilliant. Thank you, Kalina. What about you, Cass?
Hi, I'm Cass Winlow. I'm the Head of Student Engagement. I've been with the Students' Union for almost 4 years now, and I joined initially, I have a background in community development, and I joined the Students' Union to set up the student-led groups offer, which has become Your Societies.
Brilliant, thank you. Can we start with what might seem like a straightforward question, but I think a lot of people don't necessarily understand the whole remit of a student union. So what is the role of a student union?
Well, essentially, student unions exist to provide enhanced opportunities for students alongside their particular institution. And we do that in a number of ways. I'll let Cass kind of talk about some of the services that we have. But for me, student unions are about providing extracurricular opportunities and just supporting a student to have a better understanding about who they are themselves. It's the kind of social side of the academic experience. So on with that, I'll pass to Cass.
So the student engagement team, we have two kind of teams within, and that's student voice and student opportunities. And the student voice is about is simply what it says. It's the student voice. It's how students can influence their experience at university. So course reps and school coordinators influence academic experience. Within that, we have independent advice provision, and student opportunities is more about that kind of co-curricular, extracurricular activity for students. So societies, volunteering, events, welcome week. So there is a really broad range of things that students can and should get involved in.
Brilliant, thank you. So we're here under the proviso of under new management. So it sounds as though there's been quite a bit of change in the last few months. Kalina, would you like to share what changes have happened?
Sure. When I came in, I thought that the Students' Union was quite top heavy in its senior management team. So there was myself and 4 other senior managers, and we had what I would call quite an odd structure. We had senior coordinators, but then no one necessarily underneath those. So I instigated a restructure and realigned the senior management team. So it's just now myself and Cass, redeployed people into management roles and provided managerial opportunities for more staff. But ultimately all of that was to enable us to provide more funding for student-led and student-facing services. So we've created some new positions. Obviously it wasn't a financially driven decision, but it was definitely about putting students at the heart of what it is that we do and making us more aligned to what I would consider a normal student union structure. And I think that's worked really well. I think that there's a sense of positivity and enthusiasm, especially from me. With me, I've also brought in a culture whereby my mantra is to challenge myself, my staff, our students, ourselves as a students' union and the university to be better. And that just means by sort of being open and honest in those conversations. And that's hopefully the sort of vibe that's coming through the whole of the organisation. And so we're just being more open to each other, more supportive of each other, more critical of each other in a constructive way, but to try and get the best out of everyone. So we've got a culture whereby I encourage our staff to have mentors. I encourage our staff to visit other student unions, obviously, when that's possible, but to pick up the phone, to engage in action learning sets. I think it's really important to appreciate that Sunderland Students' Union doesn't exist in a bubble, and there are a number of student unions across the country. And actually, we'll never be the best at what it is that we do without having a look and seeing what else is out there. So that's all part of the whole new management structure, that it's it's about the experience and it's about taking us on a journey. I think, and I've always believed, that Sunderland Students' Union is a good students' union. And with me at the helm, I'm hoping to take us forward to being a great students' union. And that means getting all of those sort of things, the infrastructure right, but also sort of working with our students and getting our students to know that we are there for them and are there to support them and to help with that journey. If I may, for me personally, it was my students' union that got me through my university experience, and I wouldn't have made it had it not been for that. So hopefully we can try and inspire our students and empower our students to get involved with us.
Brilliant. So Cass, you've obviously been around for 4 years and sort of seen these changes. Can you see some significant changes have taken place other than the sort of the management structure?
Absolutely, yes. I think Kalina has got that right in terms of the energy. We're all really excited to see what we can do. We're looking forward to the next academic year, but we've also really galvanised over the past academic year in terms of looking at the situation that we've faced, that everyone has faced in terms of the pandemic, and looked at how we can flex to still hear what our students want and need and to offer that. And it's given us a really new scope on the things that we can do in person and online. So it is definitely exciting times ahead.
Brilliant. So final question from me. How would you like to develop the relationship with the university? I know that in my role, which is equality, diversity, inclusion, there's been a massive shift and much more of a collaborative way of working, particularly with the part-time officers, for example, which I'm really excited about. So how would you like to develop the relationship further, Kalina?
For me personally, I think that one of the ways that we engage our students is by engaging the academic and professional services staff. I don't think that we can do this by ourselves. And so one of the things I wanted to do, had I been on campus, would be to invite staff for an SU Open Day so that staff can come along and see what it is that a students' union does and how we can support them. And that's, like I say, both academic staff and professional services staff, because you never know who might be approaching you to ask a particular question. And if you didn't know that the service existed, then you wouldn't recommend us or suggest that you get involved in us. And I think there's so many ways in which we can reach out to our students, but we need the staff to be able to do that. Some of the things that I think we can do are looking at the NSS scores across across particular sort of programs and faculties, and trying to say to people, actually, is there something specific you want us to do with your students? Obviously, we want people to invite us into their inductions, and not necessarily just induction, because I think induction is that time that students are in this headwind about whether they're on the right course, whether they're at the right institution, for example, especially now. And it's giving us the opportunity to touch base regularly throughout the year and say, we are still here for you. Please come along, please join us, please tell us how you want the Students' Union experience to benefit you. And that's from, like I say, both the staff point of view and the student point of view. For me, we're all in this together. The Students' Union is about supporting the betterment of the student experience, and we can only do that in collaboration with the university.
Yeah, brilliant. Cass, is there anything that you want to add on to that?
Just to say, I completely agree. We've long valued the relationship that the academic staff have with students, and we want to increase our relationships and enhance those, and really utilise that mechanism for students to know more about what we do and why it's a benefit to them and how it can improve their academic experience.
Brilliant. Thank you both very much, and good luck with the future changes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Justine.